Welcome back to Clear Talk. On today's episode, we're going to cover how to grow a Facebook group of buyers.
And then we discuss the truth about sliding into your prospects' DMs.
And lastly, how to master high-ticket selling on the phone. By the way, at the end of this episode, I go into some deep mindset stuff about goal setting that I think you're really going to like. So drop a comment down below to let us know your number one takeaway from today's episode. Go ahead and enjoy the show. Welcome back to Clear Talk. I'm your host, Armin Shaffi. This is my co-host,
Jeanette Odero.
And this is the number one show for coaches who want to build and scale an online business. The big question is, how do coaches like us and our team who started with nothing risk everything to build a business around helping others? How do we go out there and get our message across in the marketplace, get clients consistently, all about making a huge difference in the world? So welcome back. We go live every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time to answer your questions and to give you free coaching on your business so that you can scale your business and fix all the problems that get in the way as well. And so, Jay, you excited for today's Clear Talk?
Always. Clear Talk Monday, it's just a great start to the week. If you are here, let us know. Send us a quick message. Mondays are my favorite.
Cool.
Are you excited to be here? Are you excited for the show?
I got a lot of energy out of nowhere. So we're on YouTube right now. If you're on YouTube and you like content around growing your coaching business online, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so that you can get notified every time we drop new videos every single week, by the way, multiple times a week. And also, I decided to go live on Instagram. So what's up, everybody? If you're watching on Instagram, drop some emojis so I know that you're here and you're watching us. And if you're on Facebook, you're also here on Facebook as well, then make sure you drop a comment down below right now. Let us know you're here. Comment where you're from, the city you're from, and hashtag live so we know that you're here. Start engaging right away. If I see your comments are happening right now, I'll choose your questions, live questions, to answer before anyone else's. If you're the first one to comment, we'll answer your questions first if you have any questions live. So really excited to have some fun and answer your questions. Today we got a lot of questions around. Ooh.
I just saw the cam.
Yeah, we have multicam today.
Sorry.
It's mind-blowing.
I couldn't hold in that excitement. That looked sick.
That looked cool. That camera right there, right?
Sick.
Wait, it's this camera.
It was this one.
Yeah. Upton set up multicam, so now we have like different angles.
This is crazy.
Hold on. Let me see what it looks like. Yeah. Instagram's seeing all the behind the scenes right now.
Are we a little laggy or is that just me?
Yeah, it's a little laggy.
Okay.
Anyways, we're going to hop into questions real quick.
Yes.
I want to see the different angles. Well, I can see it after too. It's not a big deal.
This is cool. All right. Well, I feel like your Instagram is going off. I can already see the comments
I don't even know what everyone's saying. I can't see your comments because you guys are way too far. But
very far away.
Hit me with DMs if you have questions. Afterwards, I'll answer them with a voice note. I'll send a direct message back to you guys. All right, so you want to hop into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
The premise of the show is real simple. If you want your questions answered on the show live and you're a coach, then go ahead and go to askarmin.com. Submit your questions. Not only will you get incredible, valuable coaching content in your email, but also you'll be able to get your questions, free coaching on this show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're not already, by the way, a part of our free strategy group, high-ticket coaching community, then go ahead and join that group on Facebook. We drop lots of good content and trainings for you guys to go out and get clients and fix up your businesses if it is stuck at under 10K a month.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Let's hop into Are you guys good for us to hop into the first question?
Yeah,
Upton, Isaiah?
We're
You guys good?
Gentlemen?
Hey,
Just give us a go ahead. Ooh, there it is. See that side one? The side shot? Ooh, look at that.
This is so funny.
All right, let's do it. What's the first question?
Okay, question number 1. I don't have the money for ads, but I do want to utilize Facebook's different groups and communities. Do you have any strategies for this? That's from Timothy.
Yeah, 100%. Facebook groups. So essentially, we have one right now, right? Yeah. So if you're not running ads in your business, it's cool. In fact, you shouldn't run ads until you have a good Facebook group so that you can validate that the content you're putting out works.
Really? Would you say that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've had two types of clients before. I've worked with clients that need to grow an audience. They don't have a list, like they don't have an audience growth system. And I've helped them set it up before they start running ads and like selling and all that stuff. And then I've had clients where they skip that method because they already have an audience, but they go straight to ads. And like both work, But I'll tell you guys from experience that definitely the issues I saw with when you skip the audience growth phase, like Facebook, like organic,
Yes.
is that sometimes the ads don't work,
Okay.
and you don't know why. It's because we never tested it in an organic way first.
I see.
So see, if I can't post the Facebook post and get engagement on it, probably as an ad that won't work either, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so organic is definitely like a testing ground. You know, think of it like that. Like you want to do organic to it's no cost and no risk to test everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes here's what I'll do. Like I'll post an ad, like I'll write an ad on my Facebook and I'll write it, but it's an organic post. And if it gets a lot of comments and likes, then I'll run it as an ad.
True.
It's a cool way to test things, and then and I know the ad always does really well.
Yeah.
And so, with the exception of one post once, which is very, it was very like timely sensitive. So after a while, it just became irrelevant. But it as an ad, it did kind of well, and then it didn't. But every other post I've done that I post first actually works out really well.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you want to grow a group, it's pretty simple. Here's some common principles about growing a Facebook group. Make sure people have to request to join it, and if you can get their emails or opt-ins at the questions when they join. Also, make sure you have a good welcome video and that explains what the group's about, and drop content about how to do. The content you want to put in your Facebook group is about sharing what to do for your audience to get the result they want and why to do it. Why it's better than what they're doing. It's better to do your way. Don't ever really try to teach. Rarely, where exceptions, but don't ever try to teach the how, like the technical steps, the explanations.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few trainings in my Facebook group, like you guys know, that are very in depth. But I know for a fact that it's not going to give you the entire business result.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to make sure you only share content around what to do, like why to do it and what to do, and then that will inquire your group to want to book a call to work with you on how to do it and getting help to do it.
Yeah.
That would be the main thing that I would say about growing your Facebook group. And there's two ways to fill it. One way is to do paid ads. Like we have a system in our program for like $10 or $15 a day. $10 to $20 a day literally is nothing.
Yeah.
You get hundreds of people joining your email list in your Facebook group. I think that's a steal for $500 in a month to get hundreds of people in your group and on your email list is amazing, right? Because one client can turn into a $5,000 client.
Absolutely.
One person on the list. And that's 10x your return. So that's one way to do it, right? But you need to make sure you know what you're doing. We have a very in-depth Facebook ads training in our audience growth module.
Yeah.
And it's a couple hours, and like I teach probably a few $1,000s worth of ads training of a course in that one video.
Fact.
But we get people who've never done ads crushing it with their ads the first time.
Yep.
Adam is one of our clients. He grew an audience over 700 emails. Now he's at almost 1,200, I think.
I think so.
Within just a few weeks in the program of launching an audience growth funnel with paid ads, the way we teach. The other way to fill it is organically. And organically, it just comes down to simple things like go into other people's groups, either add tons of value or post really engaging things that get your ideal clients to check you out and then redirect them into your group, either from having it branded on your Facebook profile or messaging them like, hey, I have a group that helps people specifically like you. Why don't you join my group? That's how Daniel, one of our other clients, was able to grow his group to, I think, like it was like 600 people within a few weeks. Within like 5 or 6 weeks, just from going into other groups and bringing people to his group, and he started growing on its own. So, and just remember this: when you're doing a Facebook or organic approach, it's going to be hard in the beginning. It's all hustle. Like it's just time, hustle. You're getting your name out there. It's the equivalent of me moving to LA, going on the street and trying to get myself small acting gigs to become an actor. Like it's the same principles of hustle anywhere else would be because you're doing something you've never done. Does that make sense?
Shout out Gary Vee.
Sure, Gary Vee. Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. You put a lot of different strategies in there. So
lots of what to do's.
Okay, question number 2. Every time I message people on Facebook, I feel like they get uncomfortable and they aren't open to hearing what I have to say, even when I'm not selling. Jerome Pena has asked us that question.
Are you related to Dan Pena? I'm joking.
Are you?
Who knows? Say it one more time. I want to make sure because he had 2 segments to his question.
Yeah. So basically, I'm assuming the question is how can you get better at it, but he didn't complete it. So every time I message people on Facebook, I feel like they get uncomfortable and they aren't open to hearing what I have to say, even when I'm not selling. So I guess the question really is how to message people on Facebook effectively.
Don't make it the first touch of impression.
Ooh.
That's cold DMing. I do not recommend that.
Yeah.
There are whole groups, whole programs, 10, 15, 16 grand I know of that literally teach you how to cold DM people. let me just make this clear. The clients that come into my program are coming because they don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because we replaced that method
Yeah.
with a more streamlined, I think more respectful process for getting clients and more automated process. Adam specifically, Adam used to do cold DMing, social media prospecting. He ditched that to just automating his entire lead gen business, and he gets book calls on demand now. You know.
Yeah.
So I would not make the first impression. Is good, eh? I would not. now it's like an Oprah show. I would not make the first impression. Jay, come on. I would not make the first impression a DM.
Yeah.
Terrible idea. Okay. You know how many people I get that message me that I don't know that are trying to start a conversation in my DMs? Lots. Daily basis.
And
Instagram.
Usually it's
Instagram and Facebook.
garbage.
Daily basis.
Yeah. Same.
Do you know how many of them I end up talking to? None. Do you know how many of those none that I don't talk to actually get to pitch me their offer? None. Do you know how many of those pitch offers that actually close? None. My point is, that is the equivalent, okay, of, I just wouldn't do it. I'll give you an example with dating, but it's actually not relevant. It's like this. Here's how you do it instead. Let me tell you how to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to have a previous impression, a touch point of communication before you DM a person. Like when you DM them, there should be a reason you're DMing them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's the equivalent of this. It's the equivalent of me getting a girl's number, okay, from her friend,
Okay.
and then texting her.
Without no heads up.
Zero context beforehand.
No context, no heads up.
Hey, what's up?
You.
I got your number from, I just saw your number on, your friends. But like, what the hell? Like, they're not going to respond, like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's exactly what it feels like when you get DM'd by a person cold.
Yep.
On Facebook and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the answer, Armin? What do you do? Okay. You create a previous touch point in the social environment. That's why you go to a bar or a club, whatever, and you're in an environment where everyone's looking to get talked to.
Yeah.
And then you go there and you create conversation. And then you can text them after.
Mm.
So you go to a Facebook group, you go to a party, someone else's party.
Okay.
You don't go knock on their door, which is their DM.
Yeah,
You're not gonna hey, what's up? I saw you in this at this party. We didn't talk, but I'm at your house now. 911. Okay, that's what happens.
Look at camera too.
That's what happens, but they have to hit it, no? So, there it is. So, so imagine DMing someone is like knocking on their door.
Yeah.
Like at their house.
Yeah.
Facebook. What was that?
He's letting me know that there's
our signal.
You don't want to see what I just said. So, going to another person's Facebook group is like going to a party.
Yeah.
Where everyone's trying to hang out.
Yeah.
And then your Facebook group is your party, house party. Think of it like this.
I love this analogy.
So you go to a Facebook group, another person's Facebook group, and you join parties. Like there's conversations, like posts and stuff.
Totally.
You come in there and you comment and create conversation there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you DM them, it's not weird. You're not walking out of the party, they never talk to you. You talk to them, so it makes sense for you to follow up. Like, hey, what's up? How you been?
Yep.
So you got to build that relationship first before you DM them. Mm-hmm. This is why cold DMing is a terrible method. That's why LinkedIn, I also believe, is a terrible method. Unless you have a pre-context, everyone's just automatically messaging each other. So annoying, right?
So annoying.
So, here's the key to organic.
Yeah.
Overall, not just how to DM people.
Yeah.
You go to other people's parties. You either join conversations and create connections with people, or you start conversations. You have your own posts.
Yeah.
And you get people's attention. You create great conversations. From there, you get people's rapport and numbers.
Yeah.
You follow up with them in the DMs.
Yeah.
You hang out with them later on a date. And you do that enough times that you create your own house party, invite everyone over to your group. Mm-hmm. Literally the process of organic. That should be an entire lesson.
The house party of prospecting.
Or
something like
that.
The
house party method.
House party method. I like that.
I think that's a great lesson.
I really
that might be
like
the new
it.
Module 3
I
organic
really
training.
like that.
Come on, Jay.
That sounds
All right,
great.
so you guys, by the way, on Instagram, if you guys are liking this, drop some comments down below on what your favorite takeaways so far and what you're loving so far. So if you have questions, by the way, we can check too.
Yeah.
Maybe Isaiah, you can be on Instagram, check out if we have questions. And then if you're on Facebook, let us know in the comments, by the way, if it's catching, if this is valuable for you and questions that you might have, okay?
Yeah.
So that's the goal. So the mistake is trying to DM someone off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
No. You got to build rapport somewhere, whether it be from a post in your group or their group. Yeah. Then you DM. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. That's the key, really. then it's never going to be awkward.
Mhm.
So the way we teach our clients, I can't really explain to you everything step by step with take hours, but
Of course.
let me give you a bird's eye view. You start a conversation in a group, creates great engagement, and we call them launch conversations. So you create a conversation that only attracts your ideal prospects,
Yeah.
or attracts the people to say something that makes you realize they're your perfect client.
Mhm.
Then from that post or their answer, you bring that into a personal conversation in the private message inbox.
Yeah.
There you continue the conversation.
Mhm.
So it's never starting the conversation at the game, you're continuing.
Absolutely.
That's the key.
Yeah.
And then from there you go to book call to sale to change their life to they're at your wedding, whatever.
Mhm,
The
mhm,
natural
mhm,
flow
mhm.
of a client.
I love that.
To answer your question?
I think so, and I actually want to. I'm gonna actually directly talk to Isaiah, guys. Break the fourth wall. You gave me a signal, but I don't know what you were signaling.
Isaiah,
So
what does this mean?
That we came up with is this.
For what?
I know, but there's
Questions,
nobody
questions.
on. There's nobody
Any
on there.
suggestions I posted in other groups about
Where?
anxiety
Where is this?
is on Facebook.
I
Who
don't
said
see
that? Who said it?
I can't see that.
Just say who said it.
Check her. I think it's Mary.
I don't think mine
it's
is loading.
Mary.
Sorry, guys.
Yours isn't loading?
No.
Come on, Jack.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, I see them now. Perfect.
There you go.
Oh,
Wow.
it's Marie. Hey, Marie, welcome back. Okay, so I wanna just touch on a point here on the first question. Thank you for that, Isaiah. I want to touch on a point here, and then we're gonna talk to Marie. So
is what he did
that's
to
the signal he rubs his nose, but mine wasn't loading.
All right,
Anywho.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so in regards to talking to people on Facebook, so we've had, interestingly enough, like with a couple of our clients, even in our program right now, I got into a couple different conversations with each of them about how they're engaging on social media. And I'm not even the social media girl, but just based on, it's Lauren, by the way, shout out Lauren. But, just based on some of our conversations, I noticed 3 things from 3 different individuals that I want to highlight right away. So number one,
To not do?
to not do. So number one, if you're going into groups and you're trying to create conversations with people, like Armin said, you're going to their party and you're, I'm just gonna go with the party analogy because I love it. Yeah, so good. But you're going to other people's Facebook groups and you're joining their parties, right? So while you go to their party, and anybody's party really, especially in the first time that you're getting to know them, don't you usually want to dress nice? Don't you usually want to make sure your hair looks good, you smell nice,
You don't look
clean,
like you just woke up.
don't look like you just woke up. Exactly. So
Good-
if you're
good
about
point.
to go into people's Facebook groups, make sure that your profile is ready for them to come to yours. Make sure that what you have on your social media profile looks good and not creepy. So for example, talking to one of our students, it's like, man, I just think that your profile doesn't really strike me as, professional. Doesn't really strike me as, wow, this is someone who I even want to engage and speak to. You're giving me random dude who sent me a message on Facebook Messenger who I'm literally going to delete.
Which is different. It's the same as hey, what's up? What's up, Jessica? Remember me? I was staring at you in the corner of that one party.
No! You're giving creep. Don't do it.
Creep vibes.
Don't do it. If your picture is if your profile picture on Facebook is
Your
not
dog?
is not good, change it. Go take a really nice photo of yourself. If you have an iPhone, if you have a Samsung, you can literally set
Honestly,
up
by
your
the way,
phone.
You don't need a professional
You
picture.
literally can do it yourself.
Just make sure it's a picture of you smiling somewhere.
Make sure you look approachable,
Yeah.
happy, good. If you have a banner that's random,
Think about
Take
house party.
that off.
House party is such a good example. You go to a party, you ever seen those people that overdressed?
All
They're
the
trying
time.
to prove something?
All
Okay,
the time.
that's like a professional headshot.
Yeah.
You see a guy in the suit, everyone's in sweaters, and
yeah.
you guys in a suit,
Yeah.
wearing glasses indoor,
That guy.
has a 5-pound fake watch.
Yep.
And
We
he's
know that guy.
he's walking around like this, something up his ass.
You know that guy.
Yeah, don't have a picture that looks like that. That's like a headshot that literally looks like you're trying to, no, stop. But you
Just
also
be
don't want
yourself.
to dress like a hag,
Absolutely.
You don't want to dress like, you just woke up out of bed and someone forced you to come.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing. So that's one thing. Don't do.
Absolutely.
That's good.
But find a happy medium and make your profile actually welcoming. Because the first thing that someone is going to do when they see you engaging in a group is go to your profile next.
Mhm.
If they go to your profile and
Yep.
you're giving creep vibes, or you don't look like someone who's actually an expert
Yeah.
who knows what they're talking about,
Yeah.
they're not gonna message you. They're not gonna stay. And
Not gonna
anything that you do following that is not gonna go well. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, actually engaging.
I want to extend on this real quick.
Go ahead.
When I got DMs from people that I've never talked to, it's already a bad idea. But
Mm-hmm.
when I get DMs from people, the first thing I do is check out their profile.
Always.
I don't even respond to them.
Always.
They're like, hey, what's up? Like, just wanted to.
Don't look.
I hate getting these messages, guys. I can assume you agree. Like the ones that are like, hey, just looking to find like-minded people. I'm like, no. Or hey, I'm looking to expand my team. I'm looking to expand.
I'm looking for key individuals
to expand my team. And I'm like,
players like you.
I'm like, I'm not doing your network marketing business. Leave me alone.
That's my next point.
Hold on. Or they'll be like, hey, how's your day going? Zero purpose to that message.
Yeah. Hey,
I would never. If you actually get a busy person, they'll never respond.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone won't. I just won't. Like people that are really busy and they have like growing businesses that they're not like beginners. You're not gonna get pros responding to generic messages. I'm gonna give you a hint right now. If your ideal client is someone that's already working a business, is busy, is like already successful, they will not respond to anything that goes, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
How's it going? They're like,
what's up?
Yeah, like you, and if you do get them to respond, they're always gonna respond some brash way, like, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Legit.
And you're gonna get offended because you're like, I'm just trying to have a conversation. But that's like you literally going to the owner of the house party who's busy taking care of the party and like stopping them to be like, I know you're really busy, but hey, how's your day going? Yeah. They're like, I'm busy. Get out of my face, and you walk away.
Literally.
You have to have some social intelligence.
Come on.
Let me talk about RST Tyler right now.
Come on, baby.
So, I always check the profile.
Yeah.
Don't start conversations unless you talk to them somewhere in a group. That's the main thing. Because I don't respond to any of these guys. I'm like, who are you? Like, but I always check out the profile. Mm-hmm. Make sure the messaging on your profile is accurate too. It's one thing to look good. It's also another thing to have terrible messaging.
Absolutely.
So if I get on a call that says, I help coaches grow businesses and achieve their wildest dreams, I'm like, yep, no. Because it's not practical, not tangible, no end result, right?
Yeah.
What the hell is this? What's this black thing? It was the marker that I was writing earlier. My point is, if the messaging is bad, no. Like if maybe you look good, but it's just like all fluff. No, I think I get people like, I help people do more and less with less time while feeling good. I'm like, that's great, man. I'm not your client. Get out of here. Like, I don't even know what that means. Right? You go on my profile. I have a great headshot. It's not a headshot. It's like I'm caught in action or whatever, or something like that.
It's just like your regular photo.
Yeah, I'm just chilling and I'm smiling.
Yeah.
My thing says how I scaled my How's It Get coaching business with the presentation. Yeah. So I'm pushing you to a webinar. The messaging's clear. Offer's positioned really well. It's accurate to who I'm talking to. I'm approachable, you know. And here's the next thing. You ready? Here's another more advanced version. That's just how your profile looks.
Absolutely.
Your posts.
Yes.
So I have posts. If you go on my profile, I have engaging posts that you might wanna join in on. So if you go from a group to my profile, you're gonna see that I have like really good quotes up. One like controversial sentences that you might want to agree or disagree with, or launch conversations, or like a hook story offer where like you read about me. Yeah. So if you scroll down my wall, it's very engaging. It's hooking. It's relevant to my offer. It's good content.
Yeah.
Some of you just have a timeline of shared posts
or things that people have tagged you in that you have no reason being on your profile. You know what I was gonna say? I was gonna swear. If you have your settings set to anything other than the things going to your task manager, whether you can add it to your profile or not, switch it up.
No, you can't let anything on your profile. You got to control what's on there. If I go on a thing and I see it's just a bunch of, it's a bunch of shared posts from like stupid videos and I'm like, no. Yeah. Or there's just bad, like, or to put like very like arrogant posts or political posts, something that just turns me off. I'm like, no. Yeah. So make sure you're also sharing valuable content on your profile. So when they check out your timeline, it's also good.
Yes.
There's a really good advantage. That right there, Lauren, should be a cutout. Not just as valuable. We should put this in the training. Right. Those small things I just talked about. Lauren, you heard me. What I said. I don't know where you are. You're somewhere. Lauren.
It's the camera from above.
Lauren. Lauren, where are you? Lauren, did you hear? Okay. So make sure you cut that out. Put it in the training. Okay. Love you. Thanks. Goodbye.
There's like a marquee on it.
Is she on it?
We're goofs. But you get the point.
Number two. What's your next 2 points?
Number 2. And Armin highlighted it. The default thought. Wait. The default thought that everybody has, especially if they're in business, when you message them right away with no context or anything like that, is that you are an MLM.
Yeah.
So if you are not an MLM,
or that you sell something that helps them get
that
clients.
helps somebody in an MLM.
Then again, that's us because we're like in that field. Maybe not. It's all right. I get it. Don't worry. You're right. Continue.
I mean, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. And shout out Frazier, because he actually posted this specific question in a free Facebook group. Frazier is in our program. He said, when people message you right away, do you think it's an MLM opportunity?
Hundreds of comments.
Hundreds of comments.
Yes.
Because it's yes. It's yes. So if you're at risk of sounding MLM-y, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. People don't want to hear these few phrases, and we already highlighted them. Looking for a few key
individuals.
I just want like-minded people.
That's actually how I read it in their voice.
You're such an A-type personality. You just wanted to reach out. Like none of that.
That's your profile.
I like your profile.
Stop.
You know
Stop talking about fluff. People want the
guys.
meat and potatoes. Go be real. Don't start off on any of those weird, pitchy type of ways. That's not how you're going to win anybody.
Here's another tactical piece of advice. Don't send a message that's this.
Oh, yeah. No long.
None of this. If you're going to send something,
Stop
you send
pitching.
them a hey and a question so they have something to respond to.
Stop pitching in the DMs.
You know what's the worst though? People that mislead you. And you actually get on the call with them.
And it's
And they
MLM.
start pitching you.
Yeah.
Those poor bastards, like they're
That
just
is
wasting
like-
time. Not only are they
You know?
wasting time, but the lead's wasting time. This is the equivalent of sending these kind of things. It's the equivalent. I don't know if you guys get these calls from voicemails that are automated. Listen, I want you to stop right now. I'm going to show you exactly how to change your life in 5 minutes in this phone call. I'm like, Bob, stop calling me. It's an automated message. You guys got to stop with this bullshit automation, okay?
Right? Like, and my comments aren't loading. I'm so sorry, guys. But I just seen that Rojan said the worst ones are the pyramid schemes. I had so many people cold message me and not get to know me first.
Stop cold messaging
Definitely
people.
a big no for me.
By
It's
the
a
way-
no.
By the way, you avoid all this BS if you just create a conversation in a group and continue it.
Bro, yeah.
Don't start conversations in the DM.
Never.
Would you knock on your neighbor's door, other than movies and super Americanized neighborhoods? Would you knock on a person's door and go, "Hi, how's it going, Billy? I just saw you through the window and you look like a like-minded individual that shakes their head the same way as me." It's literally as creepy as it sounds.
Literally.
I saw you walking your dog the other day, John, and I realized I'm looking for people that walk their dogs like-minded like me.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, are you open to opportunities? That's stupid-ass
They
question.
literally, are you open to a couple additional streams of income? Are you open to blah, 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 blah?
I'm not going to be distracted in my life and
They-
not actually making real money.
They will.
Yeah.
Don't be somebody who grab, and like Armin just said, they grab the most it's not relevant, and it's the most obscure thing to grab hold on to,
You
and they'll
want
run
to check
with it.
Instagram, see if any comments come?
Yeah, please. But they'll run with it. Don't
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
obscure things to run with. Oh my God, you have a dog. Dogs are so cute. I really want to get a dog. By the way,
Why are you wasting my
dogging-
time?
dogs are so open and caring and loving. I'm a really open and caring and loving person. Are you open and caring and loving? I'm looking for open and caring people like you. That's how it sounds. It's like aged blah blah
Yeah,
blah blah
there's
and
a-
pitch. Like, what are
But
you
here's
doing?
the thing. Here's the other thing. It depends on your market, right? If we're talking to everyday people and like your offer is about working with everyday people, you might have to
Yeah.
create a little bit of small talk because that's normal to them. I'm not saying no, because that actually might have played. Maybe the everyday person likes that, you know. But if you're trying to work with high performers, if you're trying to work with people in business, I'm just being real with you,
Absolutely.
that are busy, that is the worst approach. So network marketers is fine. Maybe that works with a person who works and like doesn't have much to
Maybe.
do.
Maybe.
Maybe that day they just got off work. They don't care
Maybe.
if some nice person's talking to them. Maybe that works.
If this has worked for you, let us know.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
I can see how that could work with an everyday person.
Absolutely.
They have some time, like why not? You
Yeah.
know, they're like, oh, what's up? Yeah, oh, cool, and then they chit chat. It's like it's a dating app. Like it's no different. But I'm trying to say, if you're in a high ticket niche,
Yeah.
we're in the high ticket coaching community. If you're in
Yeah.
a high ticket niche, and you're working with clients who have
Mhm.
big problems, big visions, big goals, they have a lot going on. That is the worst approach. This is also another reason why coaches struggle to go high ticket or don't succeed in a high ticket model because they're using low ticket
Yeah.
thought processes. They're
Yeah.
using like the value ladder, small little like, let's like do all this small stuff. Let's talk about our kids and like no. Okay, wow, this is like that's pretty cool.
It looks really good, right?
Yeah.
It's
I'm excited to see the
graphic
YouTube
fire.
video. So that's the second thing, right?
Yeah.
Don't send long messages, Lauren. By the
That
way,
was my
I know
last
all
one.
of-
That was
all of
actually
this
my
you
last
do.
point. Was if you have a long pitch before you've even said hi, hello, how are you, like any of that, if they got to do this, it's too long.
Oh, it's too long.
You know what? You guys know what I'm talking about.
Here's a
if you-
great. Okay,
Well.
You want to know what a perfect organic process looks like? Sounds like? I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna make a perfect organic process.
Let's do it.
I go in a group of my perfect prospects. I make a post. Is anyone else having trouble with this problem? You're gonna get a bunch of people saying, yeah, oh, I hate it, but some people are gonna be like, no, I don't. Check out my website, I can help you with it. Like, there's always that person.
Yes.
You're gonna hit those people up in comments and go, what have you tried to fix it, by the way? What things have you tried? What's not working? How come you're dealing with this? Just a little bit of qualifying questions.
Yeah.
They're gonna create conversation. Then you DM them. Hey, what's up? Thanks for commenting on my post. You see how I have a segue, a bridge for why I'm messaging them?
Yeah.
Thanks for commenting on my post in this group. Just curious, are you still looking for ways to fix it? Or just curious, what else have you tried? I'm really interested in why you're dealing with this.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, what do you think you need to fix it? Just something based on the comments to segue into an end conclusion.
Yeah.
Then they're going to talk to you there, and if you really want to send them a voice note or a video. That's really bold, and they'll like it. Most people like it, like, wow, this is different.
Absolutely.
Then they're going to get on, you're going to talk, and then you're going to just make a very, very nonchalant pitch like, hey, look, I'm looking for, 5 people right now to actually help them solve this exact problem. That's why I made the post.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Usually I charge for sessions like this, but I'm going to do it for free. Are you open to having a session and letting me help you out, complete for free, no strings attached? They're either going to say yes or no. Now, if you did the good job pre-process properly, they're going to say, of course.
Yeah.
Then you get on a call, and it depends on 2 types of calls you're doing. One is an actual free coaching session because you're trying to get more data, understanding clients, get a testimonial. So you start with, look, I'm going to help you out, but in exchange for that, if I really do help you get results on this call and get you clear, can you send me an honest testimonial about your experience with me? Yeah, sure. That's a fair trade.
Yep.
Awesome. Now, if it's a strategy session, in the chat, you have to be more preemptive that I'm going to pitch you something. Like, I'm looking for 5 people to work with to achieve this result. I don't know who I'm going to choose yet. I got a lot of people in the booking calls with me, but you definitely seem like someone I can work with and help. Would you like to get on a call quick and just talk about what that looks like? Then they're either going to be like yes or no. And if you did the pre-talking process good, they'll say yes there.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't say yes there, it's because you did something wrong prior to it. Then you get on a call and you do a strategy session. You're going to pitch them an offer and you're going to close. This is literally, I just gave you a $10,000 program. This is literally what people will charge 10 to 20 grand to teach you how to do. That's what a perfect organic process should look like.
Mm-hmm.
Now do you see why it doesn't make sense to cold DM someone from the get-go?
Absolutely.
You're in their inbox. They don't know. Think about this. In their inbox, I open up my messenger.
Yeah.
And my Instagram DM. And I'm going to see all the names of people I know in my life because I'm talking to them.
Absolutely.
And then your dumb ass shows up. They don't know who you are.
No, hello, how are you?
They don't know your name. They don't know your picture. You're invading their privacy.
Literally.
You think that's a great start to a conversation or relationship?
Why you want to do that?
You're just showing up like in their messenger next to their mom, their clients, and their team.
Come on.
And your face is there. They're going to be like, who the hell is this? Boom. Delete.
Delete.
Yeah.
And
there's no reality where you're gonna have a great, again, depends on your market.
Yeah.
Not for people like me or Jay. You're not.
I mean, I'm actually nice to people sometimes. I will respond actually and be like, hey, no.
I'm even more than
Thank
nice.
you so much.
I'm more than nice
Goodbye.
because I don't respond, so they don't get good or bad from me.
The key factor here that you guys explained was the mindset. You see, the other person who's just going into someone's DM.
Yeah, their approach is
more
wrong.
like take.
Yeah,
You're
they're not
more
giving.
Like, let me give, and then you get.
You don't want to be that person at the party, Like, let's say you're trying to hook up, and you're just going to every person you're attracted to, like, hey, what are you doing tonight? What is your name? Where are you from? What do you like? Are you a serial killer? These are questions I'd like to ask first.
Absolutely.
Before, what are you doing tonight? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What are you doing tonight? Are you in the market? Are you open to multiple partners in bed? No, I'm not! Leave me alone!
It's true.
I had a guy once. I don't even remember his name, but out of respect, I just give you an example of why this will never work with people. Again, with a high ticket marketplace, maybe low ticket people like conversations. I don't know. I haven't been there for a long time. I haven't been a product or a prospect for some $500 or $1,000 course. I've literally bought only $10,000 to $30,000 things at this point in the last year or two.
Yeah.
I had a guy message me once. Hey, I checked out. He actually had a great starter.
Yeah.
Checked
out some of your stuff.
I checked out your profile, man.
Yeah.
I really love what you're doing with coaches. Sounds amazing. Good on you for that. Something like that. I'm like, okay, not bad. I'm like, so the best he got from me was like, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Then he started conversation.
Always.
Okay. But at this point, you already got me on edge because I'm like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
There's only 2 reasons you're in my inbox.
Absolutely.
You're trying to get me on a date, or you're trying to get me as a client. I've had those, believe it or not. Anyways, another story. So, but you have a motive, is my point.
Always. Yeah.
Okay. Then he goes, you know, like, how did you get it? He started asking me questions about my business, and I'm like, yeah, here's what I do. He goes, well, let me ask you a question. Are you, he asked me, but in a very professional way, like, what about adding an extra stream of income that costs you nothing, no time, but it just makes you more money? And I literally just respond, I'm like, no thanks. He goes, well, you already have your business established. Why wouldn't you do this? I'm like, I don't believe in that. I'm like, I'll make more money focusing on the one thing that's working than to have multiple things that I'm doing half-assed things in.
Yeah.
So obviously now I'm taking a shot at his method.
Yeah.
So he goes, well, and then he starts trying to boast to me, and he's like, well, I made multiple millionaires. Listen to what's wrong with this approach. Even if you are a multimillionaire. He goes, I made multiple millionaires. I have thousands of people I've helped achieve financial freedom in the world or whatever in this business, network marketing. And he responds with like, so I definitely know I can help or something like that. You know what I respond with? I'm like, I was a little mean with this guy because he took a lot of my time from the conversation. I'm like, why I gotta do this? I told you no. I respond with, if you say you made multiple millionaires and you yourself are even multi-millionaire, and you're still messaging people one-on-one like this, there's something fundamentally broken with your business. I'm like, you still got time to poach people on Facebook? I don't, like, what kind of life are you living right now? I don't understand.
Yeah.
What a terrible way to make millions of dollars. And so he goes, well, no, this is like normal to me. I don't think it's a big deal. Like, I like doing it. I'm like, yeah, I like talking to people too, but like, not as a form of making money from it.
Yeah.
And so we had this, like, I try to be very brash with him, try to, like, get him to leave me alone. And he's just like, yeah, I totally get it. But, something like, I'm like, okay, well, let me ask you a question. How much money did you make last month? Like, literally, I was that, because I'm like, look, you're trying to talk to someone who's doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Better be ready. Not bullshit. Don't fluff me.
Yeah.
I'm like, great. I'm like, the only way, I'm like, listen, I'm going to be real with you, man. I want to be honest with you. There's only one way we're getting on the call, because he goes, why don't we get on a call, quickly show you what I do? I'm like, no. I'm like, I only get on a call if there's a purpose to it, right? And the purpose is in line with what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't see why we would get on a call. Why don't you just tell me what your offer here, and I'll see if I need it right now. Again, these are types of people like me, like, and when I say like me, I'm just saying like someone who's really busy. They're in a different stage in their business. They're not going to respond to a small little like, hey, let's talk. No. Okay? So he goes, well, something, and try to like close me on getting on a call. I'm like, bro, I'm not getting on a call. Let me just be real with you. If you're not making more money than me in your business, there's nothing I can teach you. There's nothing you can teach me. So how much did you make last month? I'm like, if you at least are making tons, because I didn't believe he's a multi-million dollar bullshit. I'm like, then maybe I'll check it out. Because you have something I might want.
Absolutely.
Okay? That's fair shot.
That's fair.
And he goes, completely gives me an evasive answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how much money did you make? He's like, I'm making more than I need. Something bullshit like that. Like, making more than I need. I absolutely don't know. Like, I'm like, bro, give me a number. Dollar figure. He goes, look, I totally get where you're coming from. Then he's like evading the answer. I'm like, look, man. I sent him a screenshot of my Stripe. I'm like, this is my sales this month alone. It was like in the high 5 figures. I think it was like in October or something. We were doing like 50 or 100 grand. I sent him a screenshot. I'm like, are you making more than this? And are you doing it in only a couple hours a week of time? Because if you're not, maybe you need to learn something from me. So I try to actually turn tables. I try to like switch it up,
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe there's something you should learn from me. And so, because I was being very egotistical with him on purpose, because that's how he approached me. But that's what you get when you do an approach like this. You get the ego out of the person.
Yeah.
When you do it the way I taught you earlier, the perfect process of an organic strategy, you get the pain out of a person that needs help, not the ego. So he brought that out. It's his fault. And I'm not even like this. So I just said, I'm like, look, if you're not making more money than me, you need to talk to me.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I totally understand. Like, I appreciate your time and whatever. Maybe in the future, this won't be in the future. We'll never. I'm like, serious. I'm just being real with you. I don't want you to hang on and like message me 6 months later as if I changed my mind.
Leave me alone.
We're never gonna work together, Brand. I'm like, I love what you're doing. Do you think? I'm like, network marketing started me in entrepreneurship.
Bro, we always say this.
I give all credit. They got us thinking like one. But when I realized what a real company is, I got out of it. And I started a real business. Not that it's not a real business.
Yeah.
It's not a real business. Sorry. It's not a real business. It's not a real business. The business is the person who built the company that's giving you the resources to build a network marketing business. That's a real business. You are at best a sales manager in a network marketing company. If I pissed you off, it's because it's true. Because you know it. You're at best a sales manager. You manage a downline of affiliates that sell. You coach them. You motivate them. There's literally no difference for that position and a sales manager, other than you all have the in conception that we can all become rich and find freedom and we all have our own business. That's fine. But you are literally virtually nothing different than a sales manager in a company getting, the only difference is they get paid a salary.
Mm-hmm.
And they can still get commission. And it's not their brand. Like, they can't walk away with it. You think you can, but you can't also. Never working you leave, you don't take your downline with you. You could, but so can a sales manager. So I could make a pros and cons list. It's almost the same thing. The only difference is the culture. You're not a corporate. This is you're in your business, so you have the feeling and the perception of entrepreneurship. That's fine. But a salesperson is also an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't want to get deep into it, but my point is this. Don't approach people cold DMs.
Yeah. Long-winded question. We've been going off.
Someone
But I
said a
hope there's
comment-
value.
I need Lauren to cut this entire part out for
I
organic,
know.
and we
just
got to
tried
put
touch
it.
my screen.
Someone said a comment like, if I make more money than you, I am the one who will teach you how to do business. But I don't think what you said is money's not important for you.
No.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
With
It's
that
how.
guy,
It's
with
how
that
you
guy,
do it.
I'm like, if you're not making more money,
No, she's just like repeating what he said.
hey, she's quoting me. But
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not that egotistical. It's about the principle of it. First of all, the first qualification is you earn more. Because if you don't, there's clearly like I'm doing better.
Yeah.
Numerically, I'm doing better. But there's a second qualifier that doesn't just make that enough. How are you making that money? Because if you're doing 150 grand, but you have 12 call setters, 5 sales reps, 10 hours a day of Facebook organic marketing, all this organic stuff, you're like overworked. And I'm doing 100 grand with 1 sales rep, 1 funnel, no call setters, and I spend 6 hours with my clients a week and nothing else? Dude, that 50 grand difference is worth 500,000 in my lifestyle to you. So again, we've helped people making more money than me and in our team in their business because they're making that money with so much more overhead and overload of work.
Absolutely.
So what do we come in and they pay us so we can automate that part so they can make maybe the same amount of money or more in less time with more leverage because that's what we're good at in SGC in our program. You know what I'm saying? So they might not be making more. They're making more, but it's like almost the same.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the only qualifier. It's just the first thing I would
It's
think about.
multi-layered.
You know what I mean? So
Okay, so let me head to the question. Let me head to the comment section a little bit. Okay, so Marie had said, any suggestions? I posted in other groups about anxiety, and I got more than 284 comments. Fire! That's awesome.
that's great.
But I don't know how to bring them to my own Facebook group because they commented and so engaged in the women's group. Some reached out to me and they even want to do interviews with me about anxiety. How should
That's
I
great.
overcome that?
Why aren't you? Oh, Mary, I heard your story from my team. Did she do it in a strategy session with us? She almost did. Mary, I heard your story. I know you said you had a fear of selling. I just want you to, for a moment, realize how much money you're losing not knowing how to sell. Like, you have hundreds of comments.
Fear of asking for the money. Like, she does the session. She gives the value.
Dude, think about how expensive that fear is.
Marie, you haven't booked a strategy session?
She
Dave?
tried, and I think we gave her some value videos to go do before she, because
Okay.
it's expensive to work with us, but we
Yeah.
get expensive results.
Yeah.
And she expressed to us like where she's
I
at.
understand.
But that's as much as I know. But I want you to think about this for a second. You've got hundreds of comments on a post.
Yeah.
You probably can get dozens and dozens of strategy sessions from that if you know how to transmit them. Even if you close, like, I'll give you an example. Gazzy is one of my clients. She only did, we show her some simple organic, only got a few dozen comments on a post, booked 5 or 6 strategy sessions, and closed 2 at 2,500. So she did 5K.
So far.
Yeah, so far, like, she's still closing. And she just started selling high ticket beta.
Shout
It's
out
not even
my
her
girl
full
Gazzy.
price. Her full price is gonna be 5K. She's just selling beta, but she did $5,000.
Yeah.
And a few calls.
Yeah.
Because she has our high ticket sales training and
Yeah.
our coaching. Think about how expensive that is. Even if you were selling $1,000 thing, $1,000 beta program, even if, and you got on dozens of strategy sessions, and you knew that simple little thing, how to overcome that fear of asking money and learning how to close high ticket on the phone, or just selling on the phone. You're missing out on tens of thousands of dollars sitting on that post. So when you think about that, it's like, what's scarier? What's more expensive? Paying us our price for our program to show you how to do this, or the amount of money you're losing not knowing how to do it? It's probably a lot more expensive than what we charge. So now the question is like, but I don't have money to pay. You don't have money not to pay. You can't afford not to find the money to pay us to work with you on this, because you're losing 5 times more money sitting there not knowing how to do this.
Yeah.
And you can't find the money to work with us, you are not going to find what it takes in you to build a business.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Hallelujah.
We have a question on Instagram.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Who from?
But yeah, definitely. Like a lot of people don't know the opportunity cost. that
Opportunity
they're-
cost.
they're
That's
not-
what it is.
They're not aware of how much they're losing.
Yep.
Like I recently, I do like photography and videography and editing.
That's
I
Upton, friends.
myself-
That's Upton.
Hey guys, I myself, I'm doing everything like myself.
Yeah.
I'm not outsourcing at all. But I came to a realization that I wrote down how many roles I'm in my business, and then how much I would pay for someone to fill that role. And then I was like, wow, I'm spending so many hours, which I could have just spent money from what I got from the client.
Yeah.
A bit of that, and
So-
profited the rest.
Yeah.
And kept my time and spent it on getting more sales
Mm-hmm.
versus spending on editing,
Yeah.
versus spending on directing, versus filming, and so many other parts of the business that's like less in terms of how much I can make per client.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. I was like, I'm losing so
I want
much.
you to bow your head for a second like this. I'm going to knight you. You're now becoming a real business owner.
This is a long.
He's finally thinking like a real business owner.
Look at Upton go.
You are poor mindset if you still are like, no, I'm going to do everything myself so I can save $100 more. You are stuck in poverty. You do not get the goal, the whole point of entrepreneurship. You do not understand yet.
It's leverage, baby.
Because of you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, we had the conversation once. I'm like, dude, what's your goal this year in income? He's like, this. I'm like, what's your plan? He goes, well, I'm just going to do more clients. I'm like, have you ever sat down to do the math to see what it's going to cost you to do it that way?
Yeah.
And even if it's possible to hit that much money with this way you're doing it, at this price point and this way? He goes, no. I'm like, so you're never going to hit it. Because I'll tell you right now from experience, it's impossible what you're saying.
Yeah.
To make that much money doing it this way,
Yeah.
you either die before you reach there or you'll reach there and hate it.
And I actually didn't understand what he meant.
Yeah, he's like, I don't get it. I'm like, don't worry, you'll get it
I
soon.
don't get it.
You'll get it soon.
And
One
then
day you're
now
going
I
to get
got
it. You get it?
Yo, I got it.
Oh,
Thank you.
Upton! Love it.
Turning entrepreneurs into business
I
owners.
love it so much.
We got a question from Instagram.
Yeah. From
And it's actually Ida, my brother. He asked a really good question. He
Tell me.
said, what is your suggestion for people who say they're willing to invest in themselves but don't end up taking the final step? How can it take away the fear of them seeding in themselves?
There's no
I mean-
fear of investing in yourself. Okay, there's no fear. No one's afraid to invest in themselves. It's called the lack of self-confidence. See, if someone doesn't believe they can do anything big in life, they'll never drop a dollar. Okay, I have this argument a lot. Like someone will go spend, like $500 on an Xbox or PS3, or spend, let's say, $400 on a pair of shoes, but they won't spend $200 on a course that teaches them a skill, or $50 on a personal training session. And I always go like, you know what that tells me, right? That you don't think you're worth it. All it shows me is that you think you're less valuable than a pair of shoes. You're less valuable than dinner at night or a fun night with your friends. Like, you are not worth that money. So that money should be getting put into things that make you happier, that are more valuable, which is clothing, food, right? Entertainment. It's like, so it's not, I don't even need to, it's not a fear. You're not afraid of investigating yourself. There's no fear of that.
Yeah.
The fear's not involved there. It's like they have a low self-image.
Mhm.
So if I had a car that I knew was broken, it's not going to work. Why would I go, and I wanted to get rid of it for like chump change. Why would I spend $1,000 to fix the engine? I wouldn't, right? I don't believe the thing's worth it anymore. It's valueless. There's no value. So I'm like, let me just get rid of it. Get whatever I can, or just let it sit there and rust. That is exactly how people treat themselves.
That's huge what you're saying.
A broken person will
guys
not invest
listening?
in themselves because they don't believe it's worth the money anymore. So now, it's funny because I'll sit there and I just perspective change, okay? So that's how I answer your question. It's not about overcoming their fear. It's about helping. This is what real coaching is, helping them see a different perspective.
Yeah.
You give them an analogy. And the point you're supposed to get across is very simple. So let me ask you something. Do you think you're going to do anything big in life? You have goals? No, I do. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. When you have an opportunity to put your money where your mouth is, into a skill set that you know will help you. Like, let me ask you this. Do you think if you invest into this, it'll help you with becoming that person? Yes, it will. So we need to get that yes. Okay. Do you think if you put money into this, when you have an opportunity to do that, and you say no, what do you think you're teaching your own mind? Either that you can't or you won't. You're saying I can't for whatever reason is the limiting belief, or you won't, which means you're not worth it. And see, can't is not a real word. Can't only means one of two things. I don't know how to, or I don't want to. There is no can't. Can't doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know how, or I don't know what, and I don't want to. I say invest this much money into working with me as a coach.
Yeah.
I'll help you grow your business.
Yeah.
You don't have uncertainty in the process. You have uncertainty in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it right now. Why? If it's because you don't know how, it's because maybe you don't have the money actually sitting in the account. You don't know how you're going to find the money.
Mm-hmm.
Then we talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it. Now it becomes a real process of selling. Maybe they don't know how it's going to work for them. Maybe they don't know how. It's about, I don't know how this is going to. How to find the money or do this. Okay. The other ones I don't want to. So I don't want to would be more based on self-image.
Yeah.
I'm choosing not to prioritize this because I don't believe it's worth it yet. I don't think I'm going to. Remember we talking about the one person? You let him go. What do you mean? You let him go. You know when a girl, like, let's say you talk to a girl or a guy. You want something more. Let's just say you pitch them on like, yo, I want to see you. They're going to say, I can't have a relationship right now. What does that mean? I don't know how to with the life I have.
Or I don't
Or I don't
want
want to, and they don't know how to tell you that.
It's like, wow, yes, timestamp this for me. Hey, Lauren, timestamp this.
It won't be on. Oh, it's on the YouTube video.
Yeah.
So it's not a fear, man. That's why I also say choose a niche that doesn't have the problem. You know, high ticket niches don't have those problems. They already got past that. Now they just want the real stuff. It's a different process in selling. But for the lower ticket market, people who are beginners, they usually have doubt in themselves. Yeah. So when I talk to some of the friends I have and family members, I'm just like, every time, it's like you're consciously choosing to save $50 instead of paying a personal training session. I'm like, you understand the lesson you're teaching yourself is that $50, the physical cash in your bank account, is more valuable and more important than you getting a 1 hour training session for your health.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, when you hear it that way, does that sound right to you? That you're valuing $1 over your future.
Yeah.
It's even more to that. You get the 25 years of experience that guy has to help you in your life.
But what you're talking about is future thinking. Only people who don't have fears and low self-esteem can think this way. You can't expect them to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's begging for money on the street because they can't have food tonight isn't thinking about the value I can get from you because you have 10 years of experience. But bro, they don't care about that. They have problems they're trying to fix.
Yeah.
Let me give you a very deeper philosophy. In one of my meditations, I came up with this. It came to me. I'm like, man, this is really important to understand. There are two types of people seeking goals in life. One type of person, majority, 98% of this world, is seeking goals to fix problems in their life.
Yeah.
So their goals aren't goals. They're needs to fix problems.
Yeah.
The other side, the 2% of this world, the 1 or 2% of this world, they have goals based on growing and building something in life, not to fix problems. So the majority of the world's segregated into two parts. You got the mental state of a person who would go, what's your goal this year? It will be to make a certain amount of money for what purpose? To pay off a debt, fix a problem, pay off things that are burdens, to fix a money problem. Let's say I want to lose the weight, to fix a confidence problem or health problem. They're setting goals to fix problems. In other words, if you look at it like a scale, and there's 0, neutral, and then there's surplus, and there's negative, they're living in the negative portion of life. And their goals are categorized as things trying to reach them back to what? Neutral.
That's crazy!
Like, what is one to them? Basically, they're trying to get to.
You can't expect them to think becoming millionaire when they're still climbing out of debt.
I love that.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So the mental state of that person is I'm in negative, Armin. I'm in negative.
Wow.
I need to get back to fucking neutral to feel good again. I need to just get normal. I gotta not have burden, debt, financial problems, relationship problems, health problems, self-esteem problems. I gotta get back to 0.
Yeah.
Just to be a normal human again.
Yep.
Then I could talk about achieving more in my life. So the goals here is not about achieving more. And this is the problem. The majority of the personal development industry is people selling broken people. And there's no such thing, from all my friends who get sensitive, there's no such thing as broken people. I understand. Understand my concept. People who are in the negative state of life, they're still trying to get back to zero. They're selling them dreams.
Yeah.
And why is it that 80, 90% of those people buy and go nowhere? Because no one's addressing the fucking problems first. We would sit in Think and Grow Rich seminars. We would sit and think.
just threw his hat.
I would sit in Think and Grow Rich seminars with Satish, president of Think and Grow Rich, for hours, for days. We did dozens of them in the last couple of years. Every goddamn time. I never got it at first because I was all about, like, because I was in a different place in life. I was done solving problems. I wanted to get more in my life. I didn't know that, though. I didn't know I was that person.
Wow.
Majority of the people sitting in our audience, though, had problems they're fixing. I'm in a bad marriage. I'm in a bad financial situation. I want to fix these things. And when Satish would coach them on goal setting, like, what do you want? And they would always say something like, I want to make $1 million. All this shit. And he'd be like, okay. Why? And then what do they tell you? The real desire they have to fix the goddamn problems that they think this thing would fix for them. And I would realize, man, 9 out of 10 times when someone opened their mouth, they're majority of the time just trying to fix something that's broken in their life. Yeah. That's their goals. That's not a goal, man.
I love it.
That's why it was so difficult in the beginning. Remember when we did sales and like we were trying to get them to think over, yet they were like here
because they don't even know it's possible. They're still having their own issues.
Yeah.
They have excuses in life, not results. Yeah. So Satish would find the pain and go. So this is where I really got breakthroughs watching my mentor coach people. They would say, I want to become a millionaire or something like that, or I'm going to save 1,000 people's lives around the world. Some bullshit like this. Not that it's bullshit, guys. You understand it's bullshit when you're negative. He would say, didn't you say earlier your kids aren't speaking to you? Now he goes, well, yeah. He said, don't you think that's something you should fix first? He goes, well, obviously. He goes, but you didn't say that. And I'd watch, and I'm like, wow, that's so deep. Yeah. And he would say something like, you know, you want to be a charity and help thousands of people. He's like, the charity starts at home. I'm like, wow. And he would say, you say you want to change 1 million lives. He's like, why don't you start with changing your relationship with your wife first? Yep. So what is he doing? He's taking their bullshit-ass cloud thinking, gripping them back to reality and going, you're trying to avoid accepting that you have fucking problems right now. Yeah. And you think, and you feel, and make yourself feel good by covering it up with a bunch of bullshit ass like big goals. Yep. Yeah, so you're trying to cover up all the pain by showcasing to everyone, oh, I have all these big goals I'm gonna have, this cloud bullshit. This is called surplus thinking. It means you're good. I want to give more to the world. Here's a fun fact for you, my friends that want to help people. You can't help people till you help yourself. Like, but no one's perfect. I'm not saying become perfect. I'm not perfect. But I can easily tell you, foundationally in my life, all the major things in my life taken care of. I'm at peace with myself, with my family, with my clients, with everything. I don't have money problems. I don't got emotional problems. I don't got mental problems. I don't got physical problems. I am genuinely living in a surplus. That's why I'm grateful and I feel bad because most people I meet aren't. And so my drive now is what? To share everything I can to get people from the negative to the surplus. That's now where leadership is created. I have something to give. Instead of my bullshit unverified opinions, because I still haven't figured something out. So majority of people are in the negative, and their goals that they set are trying to fix the things to go back to just, I want peace again in my life. Whether it be in wealth, relationships, happiness, anything, right? Health. Now, small portion of the world ends up conquering, and we call this mastering thyself, right? This is where the whole philosophy comes from. One must master themselves. What does that self-mastery mean? All areas of life are in balance. You are at peace. There is no beliefs in your way. You're not your own enemy. I don't remember the last time I criticized myself for something, like on a deep level. You know? Mm-hmm. I've patched up insecurities. That doesn't mean I don't have insecurities. I'm just saying I patched up. I have confidence in myself and my abilities to do things. So now I'm good. I don't need someone to heal me. I don't have healing to do. Okay. Now you go to neutral. Now you get excited. Life becomes, what can I create? Right? Mm-hmm. Not, how do I pay off this debt? Yeah. How do I find somebody to fall in love? How do I lose this weight? These are problem goals. Surplus goals is where you find the innovators of this world. Yeah. You've got people, and by the way, here's a trick. So very few people, it's very hard and rare, can completely neglect and not care about the negative issues they have because they're so attached to that surplus. This is a very rare scenario. You got people, entrepreneurs that like live in the basement, have no money, but they're like, I'm going to make Amazon. But again, he had belief in himself. He had patched up the confidence issues. Elon Musk, showering in a washroom at his office, working 100 hours a week. He had no self problems. Doesn't mean he had a lot of money, though. I'm not saying you have to make a lot of money to have big goals. No. He had no money.
Yeah.
He was poor. He had nothing. But all of the inner stuff was taken care of. That's why he was working so hard on a goal. Here's the other key. You cannot work on a big goal until you have figured out inside. You can't. And if you try, you either become inauthentic, lose it over time because you didn't build the foundational things within, or you're just bullshit. You never get there. It's all bullshit.
Yo, Armin's using this now. This is so good. This is so good.
I want to build a house. You cannot skip digging the foundation. Foundation is going from negative to neutral. When I've built the foundation, I can start building upwards now.
Yeah.
What am I going to build my house on? Nothing. It's going to go into a hole. You're trying to put up a wall. You haven't even dug the foundation or filled it up yet for a house to sit on it.
The crazy part is that before you could build a wall, you actually have to dig deep.
So deep.
Like you have to dig deep, put the concrete, and then you
Build up. So now when you're on a sales call with someone, just going back to the question, right? That's why every sales call is about pain, not about desire. Desire is a very small portion. What do you want? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. But I'm like, why do you want that? Oh, because there's something you want to fix.
Yeah,
you find the pain and the problem.
Yeah.
You give them the certainty that with your help, they'll fix it. Because they get excited about the idea of finally being at peace again. Mm-hmm. I don't have problems anymore. Now, we have problems still. But from a surplus thought process, from a surplus state of mind, problems are challenges. They're not problems anymore. Because they're fun. It's like a game. 2 levels to a person. I sit down playing a new video game. I don't know how to play it. What am I going to deal with? The first phase of that process of learning how to play the game is learning how to play it. Because I'm behind. If I play you, I feel insecure because I don't know what I'm doing. Until I have patched the holes of knowing what I'm doing, that I'm good enough to play, I can actually play with you now, neutral. Now I'm like, how good can I get? Golf. Very, very, very good example. If you can't hit the ball, you're never going to play an actual game of golf with anyone. So what do? Spend months on the range just learning how to fucking swing the golf club. Just learning how to swing and hitting it. And then not only learning how to swing and hitting it, getting over your mental issues because it's really hard. Then getting good at aiming. Then getting good at, you got to build so much foundation so you go from negative, like I don't know what the hell I'm doing in golf, to at least, I'm good enough to at least know if I hit this ball, it's going to land somewhere. Yeah. So now it's about mastery of how good can I be, but at least I can get it over the field so I can play a real game with you at neutral. Then the fun begins. Why is the fun now? Let's play to see who's better in the surplus. This is where life becomes enjoyable. This is where life is just a challenge where characters built. It's a problem.
Wow.
So here's the problem. A lot of people try to sell surplus goals, ideas, and services to people in the negative state of mind. Mm-hmm. A lot of negative state of mind people are trying to get themselves motivated and try to achieve things in the surplus state of mind.
Yep.
I want to say MF. You MFs have to understand where you're at and integrably address it.
Yep.
So let me summarize this entire rant in one sentence.
Yeah.
If you still have throbbing problems in your life, in the most fundamental parts of your life, relationships, health, finances, mental or spiritual within, the only things you should be doing on a daily basis is fixing it until you are at peace and in balance in that part. If you're fat, lose the goddamn weight. Got shitty relationships, learn to forgive, get past your ego, go fix those relationships or within yourself. If you got self-esteem issues, invest in yourself at least a little or do things that'll make you feel confident about yourself again. If you got financial issues, go and fucking work. Trade value for money and learn a discipline, saving it until you can pay off this crap you have. Those are the only goals you should have. Doesn't mean you can't have a vision for your life. You can. But that's not what you should be thinking. Like you think about it in the back of your mind. It's not what your daily life looks like. You shouldn't be in debt, living at home with your mom at 45 years old with with a divorce and a child that hates you, and talking to people about I'm gonna change the world. I'm gonna be a Shut up. Just shut up. You're being inauthentic to yourself. You're being a piece of shit to yourself. Not my opinion. You know it because you feel it when you go, it's a piece of shit, man. I'm being a piece of shit. I'm saying stupid shit. I'm trying to cover up how shit my life is. Trying to make you feel good. I'm trying to make you feel good about your opinion about how big my talk is. Walk the walk. If you can't walk, stop talking. Okay? No one's going to pay you money till you walk it. Nobody. Humble yourself, go to zero. By the way, you want to know the people that get stuck in life forever, in the negative, never get to surplus? We call them drifters. You don't want to know who they are? The people that never actually address those problems, don't ever want to admit they have those problems, or too embarrassed to tell them they have those problems, but they pretend and act and live and spend like they're in the surplus. They drive a nice car, but they're broke. They talk big game with their friends, but they're losers. Inside, they know it.
Yeah.
They try to womanize women. They're not worth shit. Yeah. They're not a gentleman, you know? So they pretend to live here to get the small, low-quality, crummy fucking pleasures of perception. Ooh, that person thinks that. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, they get the crumbs. They sell crumbs in life. Oh, I just get a little bit of dose of dopamine because you think I'm the shit now for a moment. Then you go back, you're a loser. They're unwilling to admit and accept how shitty life is for them first.
You guys listening?
You know what leadership is? I know I'm in a shit place and I'm going to fix it.
Are you listening?
So people are running away from their problems. You're running away from the real them.
They have a pile of shit in their living room.
And they're putting cream on top.
And they're decorating it like a Christmas tree with ornaments.
I'm about to get emotional. What?
So one sentence. If you're in the negative and you got things that you obviously know are problems, and by the way, dig deep, because some of you, I've convinced yourself some of the problems you have aren't real problems. Because you suppress them so hard or justify them so hard, you're okay with feeling the fact that you have a shitty relationship with your family, shitty relationship with yourself. Yeah, you're overweight. You're like, it's okay. I'm not that over. I'm just, I can't breathe when I walk. Like, no, it's a problem. It's a fucking problem. Okay? If you act poor and cheap around people and you know you hate that shit, you got to ask for money when you do stuff, you're buying on bills, there is a problem. That's the first half of the sentence. Your only goal, only thought process should be, how do I fix these right away? And you don't stop until they're all fixed. Then you'll feel good about yourself every second, by the way, because you know you're doing the right thing now. So your conscience, man, your spirit is going to feel good because you're doing the right thing. And once you get there, and you're in the neutral, and you actually have something to give to others because you're full. Right? You're not worried. You don't sleep with stress. Now you can talk about building something. Build something to give. Build a business. Provide service in the market. Lead people in a team. Because now you have the right to lead. That's all I'm saying. Especially in coaching. That is a sensitive topic. You're literally saying, pay me to tell you in your life with you what to do. Are you on drugs? Blind can't lead the blind. You're both going to go get hit by a train. Okay? Stop it.
My
It's
heart.
not like on the sales script, like, you don't really waste time on, oh, so where do you want to be a year from now? Oh,
I don't care where you want to be.
You're like, yeah, cool. That's all future stuff, but you not having this, how's that impact?
How do we bring it back, though? We say, okay, why that? Why do you want to do $50,000 a month? What is that going to do for you that you can't right now with the money you have? Oh, it's this. Are you not already doing that? No, I'm not helping my family. Oh, okay, so is that important for you to fix? Yeah, man. Does it bother you that you're not helping your family? Now we're talking about the pain again.
Yeah, okay. I see.
Wow. Okay,
That was good.
That was like.
Oh, by the way, people in the surplus spend a lot more money, a lot faster with no excuses.
None.
I dropped
Or little to none.
I dropped
Let me not
30
say
to
none.
40 grand on programs. I don't even ask. Like, it's a 10-minute call. Why? I got no fears, no doubts, no bullshit. So high ticket niching. Not saying we work with most people on problems, but you want to go real high ticket, like super high ticket. You're gonna find people that already know. They'll give you 100 grand faster than someone will give you $500. That's in the negative. I'm serious.
And it's normal.
That's
Sometimes
so
you-
true.
It's just true.
That's so true.
Sometimes you meet someone, like for me, if I'm on the call, I'll feel.
Hold on, before I
weird.
forget this.
Yeah.
What's the key though? You better be there yourself.
Exactly.
High ticket person ain't gonna pay you that kind of money easily if you're still in the negative.
So deep.
Class is in session.
Okay, let's head to the comments.
Hold on, we any comments? Yeah, they're here.
We actually have 2 comments here.
Okay.
Read them out. We're on Instagram for the first time in months, so let's do
I
it.
know we
So-
actually haven't
Okay,
been
one
on there.
second. Says, Iden said, how that was great. How can we help people grow income before approaching us? Most of the leads say they don't have money for my business or expand their understanding on how to grow financially. Try to understand this question.
2 things. One is targeting. If you're getting only people that are broke, it's because your messaging is allowing those people to come through. If you scare them off by saying something like, if you're broke, don't come here, or if you say specifically, we're looking for people that are doing this kind of income to help them get to 5X, then you won't get those other people. I get so many people that don't book calls because I say it's a premium service, we charge premium prices in my webinar. They still come through. Not that we get rid of all of them. The second thing is everyone's going to tell you they don't have money. Your ability to sell is your ability to change perspective on the fact that they can't afford not to do it versus they can't afford to do it. End of story.
Very good.
So next question.
So Armin, how come one can't use goals to get back into neutrality or surplus?
Who said that?
The Scipion, or something like that. Underscore.
These IG names. Anyways, I didn't say goals. All are goals. Everything is goals. It's what you're working towards. I'm saying that the only goals you should have in the negative is to get back to the neutral by fixing things that are leaking. Like, if I have a bucket, okay, which, listen, if I have friends around me that have empty buckets and I'm trying to fill their buckets with water because they're empty, don't you think I should have a bucket full of water first? Okay, now watch this. Let's say I have a bucket. My buckets have holes in them. No matter how much I fill, it keeps draining out. So I'm too busy trying to just fill up a quarter of my bucket before it drains out. I don't have enough to give to myself. And now imagine my dumbass takes that bucket that's barely full and I try to put splashes into my friend's buckets, and all of us are just broke-ass whole bucket people throwing splashes at each other. That's literally what a bunch of poor society looks like. It's literally what a poor family looks like, poor friends group looks like. You guys are all empty buckets with holes in it, and you're trying to splash some water, like little crumbs of water over each other. Oh, let me help you out. And then you get resentful because you have nothing left in your bucket after giving that 1 ounce of water you had into her bucket, and now she's not giving you anything back, and now you're like, I can't trust people anymore. I gave out my 1 ounce of water to her, and she not. It's just everything's problematic living. You guys are just hurting each other because your approach is wrong to living. Okay, so the way you do it is you plug the damn holes, right? You plug the holes first. So isn't that the right thing to do? Plug your own holes first. You can't plug others because you won't have enough to survive before you plug theirs successfully if you don't plug yours. So you got to plug your own holes first. Then guess what? You work on filling the thing up. Now you're full. You know when you start giving to someone else? When you get to surplus? When your bucket is overflowing with water. When you got too much water to keep, you actually don't need anymore.
That's true.
Whether that be money, emotions, love, right? Health, whatever, advice. Now I'm like, yo, Jay, I got like 2 buckets full of water here. It's just being spilled. Here, take half. She's like, thank you. Now I help her. Guess what? That's what we do with our clients in our program. Yeah. We're filling their buckets so that they can get back to negative, neutral, and surplus. So I'm just saying the goals in a negative state of living is to get back to that. Plug your holes. Then think about big vision. Like, I don't want to hear shit like, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, and like you literally have never made more than 20 grand in a year and don't know any skills in your life and don't believe in yourself. Stop saying shit because you ruin your own mind. Because you know every time you say that, it's full of shit. You know it. Inside, you're like, that's no way I'm going to be that. You can't possibly see at the top of the mountain from the bottom and be like, yeah, I can see the chair sitting at the top 1,000 miles away. No, you can't. So you're deliberately lying to your own subconscious mind. It chips away at your self-esteem and your self-confidence in yourself. Yeah. Be honest. When I was in depression, I didn't sit there and be like, I'm going to be the richest man in the world. I didn't do that. But I virtually made more money than I've ever made in the last year since my depression. You know why? Because my focus changed from I'm going to be this person to life is shit right now. I would say this to myself. Everything is shit right now. I'm going to fucking fix it. You know how empowering that was? I'm like, I'm overweight. My business is broken, not making money. And I'm insecure in social environments because I was in a relationship. I wasn't good with confidence with girls when I talked to them. Like, those fucking 3 things are shit right now. I do it with a smile, and I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. And I would walk out. I would do it in the shower. So I walk out of the shower just feeling so amped, so confident. Because I'm like, I am being real with myself.
Starts to build your confidence.
The biggest thing.
You gotta be real.
Like, yo, if you guys are afraid, you guys are sensitive, man. No. I'm making enough money. I'm not that overweight. You like soften things. Life isn't that bad. Okay.
What do you have to say about justification? Because a lot of people are good at it. Sometimes
I think you gotta reply by
the very essence of justification is not right. It literally means to make sense of something that needs to make sense of. But if you're doing the right thing, never requires justification.
It's true.
I don't have to justify why I should hug a person if they're sad. Yeah. That naturally makes sense, right? But I do have to justify why I should rob a bank. Well, it's a bank. They have money. That's a justification. Well, we pay taxes. It's like giving my own money back. These are all justifications. So you have to justify only wrong things. You never have to justify the right thing. You don't have to justify why you should heal a relationship with your family, or why you should go and make your own money and pay your bills, or pay people back if you owe them. You don't have to justify that. It's like you come like, bro, I owe 10 grand to this person. I'm gonna work for the next 4 weeks and pay them back. Imagine I go, why? It would be so weird, right? You'd be like, because it's the right thing to do. There's no justification. You're like, this is the right thing to do. Now, what if you go, man, you know what I'm probably going to borrow money from this person. I don't think I'm going to pay them back because they owe me, so I'm going to trick them into paying me the money. Now I'm going to be like, why? Now you're going to have a nice list of reasons. Well, this one time I did this other time I did this, also, I'm going to say, like, if you got to justify something that long, it's probably the wrong thing to do. It's a great, easy rule of thumb, so you don't get yourself stuck in things that ruin your conscience. What's the next question?
Well, it was just a comment. So what it means that one needs specific goals to get back into neutrality, and then not necessarily that one shouldn't have goals at all.
No,
yes.
yeah.
No,
yeah,
have
yeah,
goals. But your goals shouldn't be some bullshit in the clouds surplus thinking
Really?
and
I
saying you're
think-
going to change the world if you still got problems. Fix your goddamn problems first.
Yeah, like Armin used that analogy, and that's why I was all in my feels, because I have a very similar thought process with what I do, but I just call it survival versus creation.
Yeah, that's good.
When you're in survival mode, you can't think about creating new
That's
things.
very true, actually.
You
Survival's
need
good.
just need to survive today, and I just use it in relation to mental illness, because it's like you want to die, you want to die right now. So let's just focus on living right now,
Yeah.
and not be focused on like lengthy. And that should have been a trigger warning. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just being
No,
real
but
with you.
we both been through depression.
Yeah, so
we
we're just being real with each other.
You don't
right
wanna
now,
live.
Right? You don't like. It's hard for you to wake up in
Negative.
the morning. So why are you trying to start to think about
building
you know,
a business,
I
following
want-
your passion.
stop?
What are you talking about?
Let's focus on being here and present and alive. Getting up and
Can you enjoy your
showering.
breakfast?
Yeah.
'Cause your
Like
breakfast is
little
good.
things. It's little things. If you're in
It's the
survival
little
mode.
things in life.
That I feel.
That song got me out of depression, actually. Believe it or
One
not.
of the
I was
songs,
in that,
right?
yeah.
But that's what this really means, guys. If you're in survival mode, survival neutral creation, when you're in survival mode, focus on surviving.
Yeah.
Focus on what you need to do to survive to the next day,
You know
to
what's
a
a-
week from now,
You
to
know
a
what's-
month
you know
from
what's
now.
another crazy way to say it? You guys ready for
How
this?
else? How else? Tell me.
Neutral down is where leadership is developed. You lead yourself. Surplus up is where leadership is executed. You lead others. Go Power Rangers!
No, but let's be real, guys.
Below negative, you lead yourself. Above neutral, you lead others.
I think that's so important. It's really, really important. For
Doesn't
us.
mean, by the way, in the negative, you can't lead the others in the negative with you to neutral. You might be able to.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying you, but it's more rare.
But it's really just being like, and Armin said it earlier. You just gotta be super real with yourself and real with other people, real with what's actually going down. You know, like
Gotta be real.
don't be a fugazi.
See, people think leadership is about delusionally being optimistic.
It's not true.
Everything is amazing. I'm only
Exactly.
overweight, have diabetes, and have no love life or social life, and I'm living at home with my mother. It's amazing, though.
Yeah.
It's good. At least I'm alive.
Be honest.
If there's a threshold of 1 to 10 of, like, happiness, you, like, make the threshold, like, -5.
Yeah.
So everything that happens, if, like, a fly goes by, I'd be like, it's a fly.
Yeah.
We're good. Life is good.
Yeah.
Okay. That's called delusion. You stay a loser in life. That's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't be happy. Be happy. But make sure you couple that with some action.
Yeah.
So that's like that. They think it's that. Delusional optimism. It's not. Here's what it is. Realism with an optimistic point of view.
Positive stuff is yes.
Realism.
We talk about it all
Life
the time.
is shit. I'm behind on bills. I probably lack self-esteem. I'm being honest with myself.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what I respect more in a person? I barely respect people when I meet them who talk big games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't just because people doing big things don't actually talk about it.
Absolutely.
They don't really talk about it. So when you talk about it, I'm like, you're in the negative. You're trying to make up for it by talking yourself up. You know.
Mm-hmm.
When someone says, I'm going to change 1 million lives, I go, that's great. Good job, Johnny. Awesome. Can't wait to see you there. It's so cute, you know? You know what I respect more than that? I don't respect that. I respect a person who, like, will meet me and go, man, I realize I've been a piece of shit this past 5 years. I wasted my time. I ate away my sorrows. I totally lied to myself. I lied on my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'll look at that person, I'm like, you're a man. You are a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're a leader in the making. Accept your faults. I'll fix them.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone very close to me that's going through this phase right now, and I'm growing so much respect and love for the person. It's so inspiring to watch it.
Yeah.
Arguably, some of our team members, when I met them at 1st, were in that place, and my respect is growing beyond. I have more respect for like someone like Isaiah than I do for like Tony Robbins. It's a bold statement.
Stop.
Seriously.
No, I know.
Dang it, Tony had a crazy story. But I'm saying, like, I have more respect for... Put some respect on it. I have more respect for, like, someone like Isaiah who came from literally the gutter to closing high-ticket sales, running sales,
Come on, baby.
like just literally building himself up from nothing.
It's a
Like,
fact.
talk about negative. You have an issue? Talk about being in the survival, bro. Now you're like closing sales. Your commissions are what more than like your family makes in a month. Family, whole family. That's just money. Don't get me started on the confidence. He went to a school once. He was talking to kids about helping them like think bigger because he had a program for students. And a teacher came up to him and says, you remind me of the young Les Brown. And he goes, sir, one day I want someone to say to another kid, you remind me of the young Isaiah Mensah. I'm like, how much bigger can he be?
Right.
So I have more respect for someone like him
Fact.
who went from this to this and can accept that he's like, I've been a victim my whole life. I've been a piece of shit. Like, I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah.
And gets to neutral than I do for someone who talks big games or blah, and then shut up.
I think people think for some reason that being real with yourself means you're being negative.
Or you're vulnerable or weak.
Like, you're just being real.
That's not being negative. If I tell you it's a piece of shit. Now, if I just say life is shit, yeah, I'll be negative. If I say life is shit and I can't wait to fix it, that's good.
Like,
Just
positive.
a tiny bit difference.
It's literally minute and small changes to how you speak about your situation and how you speak to yourself. There's nothing wrong with looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, you know what, I'm not where I want to be in X area.
Nothing wrong. It is necessary.
True. Yeah. It's
Are
necessary.
you joking? It is necessary.
But it's just
First step is awareness and acceptance.
but it's just as necessary to want to change it.
You're better off knowing you've done shitty things in your life.
Yeah.
And admitting to them than having shitty things in your life and talking to people like you're going to be the next Jesus.
Yeah.
You are better off
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
If you're scared of people's opinions, you look shittier if you do this one than this one.
Mhm.
You got more questions here?
And there's
Time
like a
is-
balance though.
Don't worry about
I
time.
think this could
Tell me
be
the
a-
questions.
We're going
there's,
off.
There's like a balance where like you just owning up to like
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm in a bad place.
Yeah.
Like I've been dealing with this.
Yeah.
I'll do something good and I'm still looking at man I'm not doing it right.
That's why you need mentorship and coaching. Because
Yeah, so
he's
it's like-
he's starting to get to neutral and above, right?
Yes, he is.
He is. He's getting very close. But he's carrying his negative survival habits with him.
Yeah.
So I'll get on a call, like, he closed a sale yesterday. I'm on the phone, and I'm like, bro, congrats. He closed another sale the last end of the month. He's like, man, I almost messed that up. I'm like, you also did something else. He goes, yeah, I messed up this part. I'm like, no, you closed the sale.
Yeah.
You're forgetting that? You closed the sale.
Messed up. I don't know
And
why
he's
I
like,
think that. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, are you done being, I'm like, are you done beating yourself up and smile? Because you're smiling about it? Why? Because eventually you have to transition.
Yeah.
You know? To just always being your best friend.
Mhm.
Has to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the beginning, you have to admit. But again, I think you should always admit. I'm in surplus, but like, I'll admit if I do shitty things. I tell you guys, I'm like, yo, I wasted time this week.
Mhm.
I think it's a necessary principle for leadership. Acceptance and just like not lying to yourself. Just brutal self-honesty. Got questions here?
Yeah. So someone said 100% necessary, and then the Scipion underscore.
Don't worry about names.
I'm pretty sure that's Kumar. It's
I think so,
Thespian
too.
or something.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
it's Kumar.
Because he said, so then Armin, how does one get with your team?
Everyone
I
always
swear?
asks that.
Did he
Yeah.
ask that once?
I don't
Yeah, he
know.
did.
I
You
feel
asked that
like-
once
I
years
feel like
ago,
so
bro.
many people ask that.
Bro, you
Especially if
asked
we
me
go on
this a
Instagram.
year ago or something like that. He asked this question.
Maybe.
I
I feel like
remember.
we get
I
it a
actually
lot.
remember
I think
that
it was-
at last, like in
I
the
think it was
beginning of
episode
Clear
20.
Talk.
Yeah, we have a
I think we
video
get
on
it
it
a
about
lot.
how to join my team or whatever. We have a YouTube
Yeah,
video.
it's episode
Anyways,
20, I remember that.
reach out.
Yeah.
Reach out. We'll vet it.
Currently looking for new video editors.
I'll be upfront with you though.
You just have to go
It's-
there.
I'll be upfront with you. It's not easy.
If you're a
Cross
video
it,
editor,
cross
send me your
parse.
resume.
Who else are we looking for? We're looking for video editors.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's really it.
But let me be real with you, man. It's not easy. So don't expect it. Like, it's not like, think about how we are with people cold DMing us about like opportunities. We're 100 times more scrutinizing with who comes in my culture.
Yeah.
Way more. Okay.
Wow. Do you want to do more questions?
Yeah, well, the questions are there. Is there anything on Facebook?
I have way more questions. Yeah. So Maria on Facebook, she
Let's make sure we
basically-
answer the audience's questions.
Yeah, so Marie,
Live audience.
I'm not sure. She asked basically if you really did answer her question. So about her, how to re-engage those people that are on her comment. So she just ultimately said, like, is that the answer that you said? Like, was that the answer to my question?
What was the question, though?
Yeah, the people who are in her comments, like how she can convert them into sales or people in her own Facebook group.
The best thing you got, like, you're asking me for coaching without paying for the coaching and being a part of the coaching. That's going to be very difficult. Upton, camera.
Facebook.
No, look, and I know it's not affordable. Affordable is opinion. It's a perspective. It's subjective. I know it's not cheap to work with us. So the best thing you can do in the meantime is go to my YouTube channel. I have videos on how to get book calls from prospects. I have videos on how to close those sales. So I have some high-level strategy videos on like how to do a sales call. I don't give you scripts or anything. That's what I give in my program. So I can't give you the hours and hours of training and coaching it would take for you to actually do this properly. The best I can do is you watch my free content on YouTube. And if you have the wit and you got what it takes to take that free videos and funnel it into just taking massive action, even if you do it all wrong, but you take a lot of action, you might actually get sales coming out of it. That's the best I can give you right now. Yeah, it's the best. And I want you to understand, that's more than anyone else on any show, if you ask, would give you. So just go and do your best. If you're afraid of asking for money, you should be more afraid about literally failing your entire life. You should be more afraid of staying exactly where you're at, where you're struggling. If you have a family, think about their faces when you say, I'm afraid to ask for $1,000 from someone or $5,000 on the call. Think about how much shitty you're being to your family and to yourself. If you're afraid of asking for money, you should be a lot more afraid about the judgment you should have on yourself, about what you're willing to more prioritize the opinion of someone rejecting you because you asked for money, than prioritizing your future, your family, yourself. I think that's pretty sure. You should be more afraid about the person you become, being afraid to ask for money. So get over it. Get over yourself. Get over the fact that you think people will not have the money, that people will say no. They will say no. Okay? To get into Major League Baseball and get $1 million contract as a MLB player, you only need to strike out someone with 3 out of 10 pitches. Do you know what that means? You only have to be 30% successful in a success rate of how many pitches you throw to have $1 million contract. You could be a multi-millionaire baseball player just hitting 3 out of 10 shots. You only need one good shot for you to make it in your business. One good strategy. Stop expecting everyone. There's going to be more failure than success. That is the point. It's nature. Get over yourself. Go get on calls and pitch.
Yeah.
Do it the wrong way. At least you win by learning. But sitting there like this whole, I don't know, maybe, no, listen. No, you're being the worst. You're being your worst nightmare already. That's it.
Yeah. She did have a follow-up comment. I took overcoming money fear training 2 weeks ago. I'm no longer feeling or avoiding talking about money with my prospects like I used to be before.
Good.
Yes, I used to fear money. Subject was rooted to my Christianity, childhood mindset, and negative myth about money.
Good.
Same here. Because I was very serious about overcoming this fear of asking people to pay me. So good job.
Good. That's good.
And even Rojan said, so Rojan's actually one of our students, guys. She says, it's about the mindset. See what you can do to get the money. I had this issue, and I managed to get the money to invest in the program.
Cool. Yeah, and man, see, if you show us you're committed, we'll be committed to you. I've done some special case scenarios for people where they paid off over time, and I barely do that, but every time I see someone has like desire,
it's all about desire, baby.
I'll work with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with people that take themselves out of even trying just because of one excuse. Like, don't know. I'm not your coach yet. I'm not your coach yet. Can't work with you. That's a different program, not this one, not SGC. SGC, the one thing I ask for you, if you apply to work with SGC, the one thing I ask is I don't want you to be really smart or rich or have tons of money or be like, I don't care about this stuff. The one thing I do ask though, because we'll give you that stuff in the program. We'll train you on mindset, on offer, on lead generation, sales. We'll train you on how to build the business. But the one thing I do require is that you are committed to doing this. That at least you bring to the table the one thing that is your only right to bring to every table is your goddamn decision to make this work. Your commitment level. Okay, your dedication. You don't got that, I don't want to even talk to you.
Yeah.
We decline people. Decline. How many declines we had this month? Multiple. Yeah. Several declines. Declines. You know what a decline is? Not we didn't get the sale. Not that we lost the sale. Not that they couldn't afford it. No. We declined them. You cannot join the program. You are not a fit yet for this program. You guys think it's a joke? You think we want your money just because you have money? I don't want your money. I want your commitment. I want your success 8 to 12 weeks from now. That won't come if I know you're not the person yet that's fully committed to yourself. I'm not going to take your hand in marriage if I know you're not even committed to marriage and raising a family and being with me. No. I wouldn't even flirt with you. Okay? Get your shit straight. I'm going to do this no matter what, with or without Armin. Okay, now we'll talk.
Jordan also said, I'll edit some videos. Sign me up. Send me a DM. Okay. Do you want to head
Oh,
to?
yeah, he's good.
I don't know.
Jordan,
we'll
we be
find
on it,
out.
man. What's up? Where we at? How long has it been so far, the show?
Well,
Hour
we're
and
check-
30 minutes.
what is it? And
Wait, but
it's
that
1:40.
ended at 1 hour.
No, it's still going. I don't
So
know
is it?
why.
Did they extended the 1 hour? How long is it on there? Does it say?
It doesn't say. It just says live.
Damn.
It's
It's
like
at 89 minutes.
why is Instagram letting us do this?
We're an hour and 30 right now.
Why is Instagram letting us do this?
I don't know. What's the next question? I just want to see if it's a long or short one.
Well, it's kind of short, or maybe it's short. Over time, you put Clear Talk in a private community. Why?
That's a good question. I wanted there to be a transaction. I realize people would treat things free.
When you don't pay,
You don't pay attention. So no, but I remember reading this. Like everything is everything is worth the price for it. So if something absolutely free with zero transaction, it's exactly worth that much. Nothing.
Yeah.
So at the very least, I'm like, I don't want to pay people to watch this, but for me to get paid to watch this, I'm like, you got to join a group. So at least you commit to being a member of our program or our YouTube channel, subscribing. And that's why I did it. I wanted to also make it only for coaches. I realized when I was going wider on my personal profiles, it was like everyone was watching.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like that's why I'm actually streaming on Instagram, because I know maybe every now and then it's okay because we help a lot of people in just life. But I am really looking for people who are committed to building a coaching business. And so I wanted to make it in a coaching community. That's pretty simple little thing.
Yeah.
Change some things up. That's it.
Okay.
We done, Jay?
We could be done, or we could keep going. I mean,
Well, I got to do some other things. And we have our coaching call at 4, right?
we do have our coaching call for yeah.
So no.
Wow,
we're
what
gonna
a
have to
great
finish
show
it.
today.
Amazing show.
Very.
Optin called it.
He did
Yeah.
call it.
He's business owner. So thanks for tuning in to Clear Talk. We were so excited to answer your questions. By the way, great questions. Keep them coming in. If you want your questions answered on the show in advance, like you're in a queue, then go to askarmin.com and submit your questions, and we will answer them live on the show. And also, if you join us live in our Facebook community, if you're on YouTube and you join us on Facebook in our community, you can be a part of the live thing and answer your questions like we just did.
Yeah, you guys are on IG.
I don't think I'll be on Instagram every week.
Probably not.
So make sure you join my coaching community so that you can actually go to highticketcoachingcommunity.com so you can actually be a part of the live show. Now, if you're on YouTube and you enjoyed this episode and you're like, damn, then hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new videos. Throwback. New videos, okay? Every week to help you grow your coaching business. Now, look, if you're interested in working with us and you want like a team of coaches, like Michael Jordan has with Phil, I keep saying Phil Knight, Phil Jackson, and his team behind them to become the best player, you need a team of coaches if you want to be the best in the game of coaching. So if you want to work with our team, you can leverage my team and my coaching and my skills to help you with your business. You can go ahead and book a call as well with the link provided with this video somewhere, wherever that is.
In the stratosphere.
And we will talk to you. It's a complete free strategy session. We got to make sure it's a fit first. And I actually mean that. I'm not talking about we say that bullshit so you get on it. You can find out if you have money. I don't care if you have money. You can have all the money in the world. We got to find out if it's a fit. That's a real thing. So thanks for tuning in. We go live every single Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time inside the High Ticket Coaching Community Facebook group to answer your questions. We'll see you next week on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget that. Put it in your calendar. Make sure you hit going to the event in the group. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another episode. Make sure you join my group on Instagram. Make sure all the side shots right now. What you need to do to get the coaching you want.
You just pressed the.
My fingers was on it and it just went.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love you so much. We'll see you next week. Go on and make the rest of your week the best of your week.